So Nate, I would like to know about you and like exactly what your company is dealing with and your business process.
Sure. So, so actually, this was a project of me helping a friend and his father's business out, and the business is deceptively complicated. It is a company that sets up large tent structures for planned events. Planned events here in the tri-state New York area, New Jersey, New York City, Connecticut, and then Westchester County. And oftentimes these events have hundreds, if not thousands of people. And so large tents are required that can be, up to 100 meters long. And so if you think about scoping out an event that takes maybe 100 people to set up one of these things, from the caterings down to the like audio video people, but most importantly, the laborers, the hired laborers that basically have to construct one of these tents. Usually it's multiple tents from lots of piece parts. And so they had been using an Excel document to do this for the last 10 or 15 years. And my friend would come to me from time to time asking for Excel help. And basically what I told him was, listen, this is not the right way to be operating your business. You're gonna end up making a mistake and losing money. We should build you a CRM. Salesforce is probably the most like clear choice here, and that should be able to capture your sales cycle from lead generation to opportunities being closed into deals to contract signing. And then also being able to build out any one of these tent configurations, because there are literally thousands of different combinations, each combination needing an individual set of parts from their warehouse. Basically, they said, "Hey, listen, this sounds like a better plan. Let's go ahead and do this project." And so me and one of my buddies, who is Salesforce admin at another company, we identified Salesforce CPQ as the best bang for the buck based on what they wanted to do, and we started getting to work. And it ended up taking a ton of time, and we ran into some hiccups where some very advanced Salesforce functionality was required. And so that's when we reached out to Deepali and Gaurav, and so I'm more than happy to answer any questions about that, because what they were able to do for us was provide high quality, cost effective labor in order for us to complete the job that we had committed to. And so I think that I speak on behalf of my partner Adam as well, that we're grateful for their services.
So like, I would like to know the advantages you had or you felt with Cloud Analogy team and like working with us.
Sure. Yeah. Of course. So one of the nice things about it is really the fact that like the team is in India, and let me explain that a little bit. Oftentimes, what we would be able to do, because I have my regular job 9 to 5 working in ad tech, so does Adam, we would be able to assess something in the evening when we were done with work and communicate the issue to that team. And then by the time we woke up, that issue would be taken care of, something would be debugged, we would have some sort of follow-up. And so we had a pretty extensive list of things that we needed help on, from getting DocuSign's API integration working, to getting our quote system working, where even though the process of compiling one of these tent jobs is very complicated, the end result that the customer sees in the form of an invoice or a quote has to be easy to understand. And so we were able to show them our Salesforce instance that we had been able to create. They were able to understand easily what we were trying to accomplish. They took a couple of days to really dig into our instance to really know the ins and outs of it. and then from there they were able to identify our pain points, and then they got to work. And you know, it was a lot of stuff that the team ended up doing for us. And any time we would vet something, usually it would be right. Of course, with development, always it's kind of an iterative cycle of identifying things that maybe you didn't know existed and having to adjust or debug things. And the team was super responsive, you know, from the start to the very end, to getting us where we needed to be. Even and so sort of like an additional case in point to really embolden that idea is that even after we had paid the team, we found a couple of things that like neither of us had noticed. And so we went ahead and sent a list to the team, and you know, they were able to do it, and we didn't get an additional invoice for that. And so they stuck to the cost, and you know, I'm very pleased with the way that all of that went.
So like it's nice to hear all this from you. So like I would like to know like why would you recommend our company, and the like why would you promote our company Cloudanology basically?
Sure. So you know, oftentimes I find that there's a discontinuity, or sort of a series of miscommunications between developers and then people that work in kind of like the core functions of a business, where the developers don't necessarily come up with the best solutions because they don't work in the trenches collecting revenue for their business every day, right? And then vice versa, right? And so the people on the business side of things usually don't understand the nuances of what's required for engineering to occur in an effective way. Like I know this because that's one of the things that I personally have sort of made a career out of, is liaising between people that are engineers or software developers and people that work in revenue organizations. And so I was really impressed by how quickly the team was able to grasp the ideas of an entirely new business that they weren't necessarily familiar with. They were able to latch onto it much quicker than a lot of other engineers that I've worked with at other companies. And because they were able to understand the concepts that drive the need for Salesforce as a CRM to capture that sales cycle, they were able to produce really great results. And so I think that that's the biggest reason. Of course, I also think that the solution is cost effective. And so oftentimes for somebody like me, I have the ability to like understand a problem, but I don't have enough hours in the day to juggle a lot of my additional responsibilities with having to roll up my sleeves and go in and modify like a Salesforce instance. And so being able to partner with these guys, with you guys, really, like, it came down to me being able to finish the project.
Yeah, and like you even explained the requirements better to us, so we were able to achieve the things as per your requirements. So that was nice from your end as well. And
Definitely.
like,
Yeah. Thank you. And it was all kind of easy for me and Adam. It was like communications were prompt, and nothing was like super formal. I'm not a super formal guy, where like we would go back and forth on Skype, and we would meet several times in order to figure out, okay, well, we know what the next step is, what's the best way to execute on that. And so we were still involved every step of the way as consultants to you guys. But what was great is that you would act as consultants to us as well, saying, well, here's what we think is possible, here's what we would do in that situation. And then ultimately when we came to an agreement about what was best and what was possible, then your team would execute on that. And like milestone after milestone, you guys were able to make it work.
Thank you so much for the appreciation, and like it's very grateful, and we are surely looking ahead to work with you like in future, as you mentioned as well. So we are just looking ahead to the engagement.
Of course, yeah. And you guys already know this, but like for anybody listening to this video testimonial, um, I have zero apprehensions about working with this team in the future. I'm sure that I will need them again for this Salesforce instance in the future, because we have some ideas far, a few months out that we just aren't ready to execute on. The first thing that I need to do is get the people that are using the instance really used to the environment before we start adding on features. But there are features that are going to need to be implemented, and when that happens, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to these guys. And so thank you guys for working hard on this.